What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Knightmare Batman. And as you can see, he is part of the Collect and Connect Grapnel Blaster replica. And here we do have Knightmare Batman in the packaging. You can see he does come with 3 Batarangs, his goggles. And right here is the piece of his Grapnel Blaster. And I'm sorry about the dogs in the background. But really nice artwork for Knightmare Batman. On the side, another image of Knightmare Batman, and I'm not the only one that sees that, right? He has the Joker on his gun. That's insane. But anyway, no real read-up on Knightmare Batman, just a bio of Batman vs. Superman. Fearing the actions of a godlike superhero left unchecked, the formidable, forceful vigilante from Gotham City takes on the revered, modern-day savior of Metropolis, while the world wrestles with what sort of hero it really needs. And with Batman and Superman at war with one another, a new threat quickly arises, putting mankind in greater danger than it's ever known before. On the back, it just shows you what the Grapnel Blaster will look like when it's all said and done. Other figures in this line include Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Armor Batman, Lex Luthor, Knightmare Batman, a mysterious 7th figure, and Aquaman. Really looking forward to getting this guy out of the packaging. Haven't come across Lex, and Aquaman's review is coming up. But anyway, that's Knightmare Batman for you, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him out of the packaging, and then we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And here we have Knightmare Batman posing out of the packaging. Now before we get onto the figure, let's actually go on to his Collect and Connect piece. He actually does come with this piece of the Grapnel launcher. Now the only problem with this one is that it still does not connect into the Grapnel gun. So it's just basically a free-floating piece. Well, maybe it'll hook on. Let me see what it says on the back. Maybe if you stick it to where Wonder Woman's, the acrylic arm, maybe you can balance it out right now, but as it stands, still no Grapnel launcher. Oh well, I am sad. But anyway, here we have Knightmare Batman posed out of the packaging. Let's get a good 360 of him. Interesting figure. Really did like this scene in the movie. It was kind of confusing, but it was also kind of awesome at the same time. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Knightmare Batman does come with a few accessories. Let's get on to the first accessory, being his goggles. Let's move him off to the side. His goggles are pretty decent. Not the greatest accessory, but you know what? I would have preferred it like this rather than sculpting it onto his head, because I have plans for this Batman head, and I'll go on to that in a little bit. But they do fasten around his head. You can have him wearing them above his eyes, or as you saw earlier, on his eyes. He also does come with 3 Batarangs. Now, if you've seen my Comic-Con release of Batman and Superman, you'll know that they did come with 3 Batarangs as well, but the Comic-Con version had the edges painted. These are just straight black plastic. And just like the Comic-Con Batarangs, these are all warped. You can see they're all curving, and that's not good. They're curving the completely wrong way. Another thing is that they feel a lot gummier than the Comic-Con figure, so they're definitely using different plastic for the Batarangs. A little disappointed that they're gummy and not really painted, but you know what? I'd rather get some accessories than nothing. Okay, now let's actually move Batman onto the screen so we can go on to some of his detail. And why don't we show off his detail while we're here. Okay, like I said, this is a really good Batman head sculpt, and I think I prefer this one over his single release, mainly because this one has a smooth cowl. If you remember in my original Batman release, I didn't like the textured cowl. It just didn't sit right with me. This one does have a smooth cowl, which works much better in my opinion. The only problem is his neck is textured. As you can see right there, he does have texturing along his neck, which kind of doesn't make sense when you look at the smooth cowl. But thankfully, if you're like me, you're going to head swap this figure. Jacket is done really nicely, except they only painted the back part of it. It is completely missing any sort of wash on the front, which is kind of sad because this is a really awesome jacket, and they completely missed out on making it look much better than what it could be. If they had added a black wash along the jacket, it would have been much better, but unfortunately they didn't. He does have a gold utility belt, and that carries over all throughout the costume, so not sure what the deal is with the gold utility belt, but he also does have a side strap, as you can see. He also does have some strapping on his legs. You can see the pockets. Who knows what Batman's carrying in his pockets, and his boots. I think the only thing about this figure that he shares with the single-carded Batman release is the mid-torso, because as far as I can tell, he doesn't share the same head. It's a retooled head, actually. The hands are different, the forearms are different, and actually, let's bring up Batman really fast, shall we? Moving Knightmare Batman off to the side. And here we have the original release for Batman, and as you can see, well, he has like this metallic finish to him. This one just has a flat paint, which is pretty cool. He is missing a lot of paint apps. I think a black wash over, you know, his bat suit, the jacket, the pants would have made a much better figure. But overall, still a really impressive looking figure. You can see that the arms are completely different. Even the forearms are different. Even the feet, which I thought were a reuse, are completely different because he has smooth boots. This one actually has textured boots. I'm not sure if you can pick that up. And then he also has textured gloves. Let me actually zoom in on that. He has textured gloves missing the paint apps on the knuckles, where this one has smooth gloves with the paint apps. So, I don't know. I'm more than likely going to head swap the Batman just so that the textured cowl is on the textured neck piece and the smooth cowl is on the smooth neck piece. But anyway, let's go on to his articulation. Batman is sporting the standard articulation. He has a bulger in his head. He can look up slightly, down slightly, turn his head left and right, as well as bobble left and right. Arms on a ball and pin socket. They go out. Do a full 360. No bicep swivel. Instead, we do get a swivel at the elbow. Now, he does have elbow joints, which the left arm does seem to move a lot easier than the right one. The right one, I just gotta put force behind it, and I don't like putting force behind joints like that because I'm really scared I'll break it. But if you do get it to move, good for you. Like I said, I got mine to move, thankfully. He does have a wrist swivel, an ab crunch, which is a little hindered by the jacket, but like I said, he does have it. The jacket just keeps his torso in one spot, so that's a little unfortunate. He does sport a waist swivel. Really tight on mine. Legs go forward to about there, back out to there before the jacket gets in the way. Legs go all the way out. He swivels at the mid-knee, but just like the original Batman, his thigh cut is at an angle. Mattel really needs to stop doing those angled cuts because now his foot goes off at an angle, and we don't want that if we want Batman to stand. I don't know why Mattel insists on giving him that thigh cut at an angle. It's really annoying. But he does have a knee joint, which is single jointed, but you get a good range of motion. And just like the original Batman, it does go off at an angle. And we also got a boot, or not a boot swivel, but an ankle hinge, which works really nice. So overall, really good figure. It has its flaws, but I'm still liking this figure. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review. So here we have Knightmare Batman posed for my final thoughts. Overall, really interesting figure. I do think Mattel dropped the ball on the paint application for this figure. The head paint is good, it's acceptable, but the rest of the body, he is lacking something. You know, that really dark patch on his back should have actually carried over to all his costume. Hopefully they would have left the head alone, because it just looks kind of flat without any type of washing. Like, this figure could have been so much better if it had the proper paint apps, which, you know, For what it is, I guess it's okay. It's acceptable, but really, really lacking those paint apps, and that is really hindering this figure. He does come with a few accessories, which I do like. He comes with Batarangs that the original release Batman did not come with. Although they're not painted, which, again, paint apps are really killing this figure. But he also does come with a piece of the grapnel launcher, which doesn't connect into anything. So, again, why couldn't they just release the figures in sequential order? I'll never understand. Or at least give us a way to build the main base of the grapnel launcher. Overall, really good figure. He has his flaws, just like the movie, but if you can find this Batman, I highly recommend you pick him up, especially if you're trying to pick up the grapnel launcher. And this was a cool scene in the movie. You can't deny that. Maybe give him another accessory that is key to the scene. I'm not spoiling anything. But if you like this video, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this figure. Don't forget to check out all my other Batman, Superman reviews. And until next time, guys, I'm King of Dragons. Thank you for watching.
My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.